Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka Jay Phoenix, and this is going to be your weekend astrology forecast for February 10th and 11th of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me this video. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. I know I'm getting this video out a little bit on the later end, and honestly, this video is probably not going to be super long because I have somewhere to be in like 30 to 40 minutes or so. So, yeah. Not the most responsible I've been today so far, but I wanted to still make sure I got a video out for this weekend because, like I said, we do have a couple big things happening. Of course, we have that moon that's going to be moving into Pisces. It's going to conjunct Saturn as well today. It's going to conjunct Neptune tomorrow. And then, of course, we do have the major aspect of Chiron and the North Node coming to the same degree in Aries, and they will stay at that same degree for 2 weeks. So those are the two major things I want to talk about in this video. And of course, that Chiron North Node one, I'll probably will talk about a lot over the next couple of weeks. And of course, it's the Chinese New Year. We have moved into the year of the wood dragon. So we have that as well. So let's go ahead and just uh, pull up the calendar. Sorry, guys. My mind is like kind of like a bit all over the place right now. So yeah, so we do have, of course, Mercury that's going to be coming into Pisces. It's going to, of course, it's squared over to Jupiter. Wait, what do I have? Why do I have Mercury? Oh, yeah, Mercury is squaring over to Jupiter. Sorry. Like I said, I'm still trying to collect my thoughts because admittedly, my energy was thrown off probably like a good 30 minutes ago because I had plans today and I'm realizing that those plans they're still there, but they've kind of shifted and stuff like that. So it's sort of like I'm kind of being thrown off, and that's kind of in many ways the Mercury square Jupiter. You know, we have the moon is going to enter into Pisces, of course, today as well, and then we're going to see that Chiron conjunct North Node opposed to South Node happen on Sunday. So let's go ahead and just hop into the actual charts itself. And forgive me if I seem a little bit all over the place today. Like I said, I just my expectations for today have been like thrown off. They've been thrown off multiple times, and somehow at the last minute they got thrown off again, and I wasn't really expecting that. And that is very much so applicable to all of this aqua energy that we have going on, right? We have Mercury that has moved to 8 degrees of Aquarius, and it is in square to Jupiter today. We do have Mars, of course, which is closing in on Pluto and will be there in just a few days' time. And, that's just kind of where we are. A lot of energies are in this Aquarian Taurus vibe right now. Now, the square, of course, Mercury here is wanting us to think a little bit more innovatively, wanting us to kind of stretch out our ideas and thoughts and to think about what is possible. Mercury is also in Aquarius, which is beyond time if you think about it, because Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, is the ruler of time, and Aquarius, while it is traditionally ruled by Saturn, it is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus, like I said, is beyond time. So timing issues, the way that we think things are going to go, if we get fixated on certain things, and these are fixed energies, right? This is fixed air and fixed earth, that we're dealing with. The planets themselves rule mutable planets, or mutable signs, Mercury ruling Gemini and, Jupiter ruling Sag. So we have mutable planets in fixed spaces. So they're having to hone it in and really kind of play to a vibe that they're not used to, that kind of vibe. So mentally, we're kind of wanting to, and that's interesting thing about this. I would say out of these signs, like out of the fixed signs, I would say ironically, I think Aquarius might be the most mutable out of the fixed signs, but then again, I don't know. It might be the most stubborn. It's very weird because it's air. It's fixed air. So this is dealing with higher cosmic, information and energies. And this square, like I said, with Mercury, it's wanting to connect because Aquarius is all about connection too. So like it's wanting to connect the dots right now, Mercury. But the square over to Jupiter, this can be whether or not we can connect with people that do share our sense of values and so forth, and whether or not we can grow and expand with these individuals. being the degree that it's at, it's 8 degrees, which is a very Saturnian degree. We can, this can be a decision time, or we feel like we may have to make some decisions. We may feel like we have to have like a plan right now. And I think that's kind of the crunch part of this, the crunch time of this. We can kind of feel like time is crunching. We can kind of feel like we need to have everything sorted out, and we need to have some sort of plan. But the moon has moved into Pisces, which is anything but planning energy. Now, it does come on top of Saturn today on Saturday. So I think that is pretty interesting. But this moon in Pisces is wanting us to learn how to go with the flow. And whenever the moon goes into Pisces, emotionally, it's a time where we want to kind of rest a little bit. Pisces loves to rest. It's a very resting energy. One of Pisces' favorite pastimes is sleeping, right? So with the moon here in Pisces, we probably are going to be feeling a little bit tired in general, especially coming off of a new moon. We're going to be feeling a little bit more tired. We may feel a little bit more sluggish today. But then it comes on top of Saturn, where Saturn's going to be like, oh, but you have these things you got to do as well, because Saturn's like a, pick it up and go. But Saturn's in Pisces. So Saturn is like on a vacation, but like still taking care of business, if you will. Like people are still calling Saturn and asking Saturn, like, hey, so this thing happened. Hey, so this thing happened. And Saturn's like, okay, do this. Okay, do that, do this. But Saturn's like working from the beach. Instead of Saturn being in the office, Saturn is working from their laptop on the beach. So it's still work, but at least you're in like a nice tropical location, hopefully. Or maybe you're up in the mountains or something like that, or maybe you're at a ski resort, but that's just kind of how it feels like. Now with this moon, like I said, coming into Pisces, we're gonna be feeling a little bit more tired, maybe a little bit more sluggish. And we're gonna have this sort of contradiction between that and then needing to figure things out and needing to come to some sort of decision, needing to have our ducks in a row with that Mercury squaring over to Jupiter. We're wanting to look for the areas in our life that we can't expand on. I think this is about recognizing the areas in our life that are already going very well, looking around and seeing the gifts that are here, the blessings that are already here, and appreciating those things, right? Like I said, we want to see that moon that's going to come on top of Saturn today. It's going to be later on in the day, mind you. Now, of course, by this point, Mercury would have come off of the exact square to Jupiter, but it is still there. It's still pretty prevalent as far as that goes. And as you can see, the North Node has moved to 1700 of Aries, so they're coming to the same degree right here. Now, moving into the next day, of course, we're going to see that North Node move to the 16th degree of Aries, therefore beginning that conjunction to Chiron. And then, of course, come like around noonish or so, a little bit past noon, we're going to see that moon is going to be at 17 degrees of Pisces, meaning that it's getting ready to actually sextile over to Uranus. I think it's interesting too that it does sextile Jupiter while Mercury wasn't square to Jupiter. So like I said, there's this element where we feel like we need to have like a plan, if you will. And even with the moon on top of Saturn, this could be that moment where our inner adult tries to make us, it may make us feel like we're being lazy, maybe make us feel like we have to get things done, we have to move, we have to take action, we have to make a decision and stuff. But it's in Pisces too. So it's very, very it's very mutable. Pisces is the most mutable of the mutable signs, right? So it's, prepare to have your plans changed this weekend. But like if you have plans this weekend, prepare to have them changed. Prepare to have them altered. Prepare to, like expect the unexpected. Like that's pretty much the whole thing with this weekend, right? Expect the unexpected. And especially, like I said, coming into this Sunday and the Chiron North Node conjunction really begins, things are going to get a little bit more intense. Things are going to get a little bit more sensitive. And with the moon already in sensitive as Pisces, you can bet your ass that people are going to, like I said, they're going to be wearing their heart on their sleeve this weekend. I think this is a weekend where we want to be as much of an observer as possible. Try not to get too emotionally entangled, if you will, in weird, sticky situations. You got to remember too, Pisces, it rules prisons, it rules prisms, it rules drugs, right? So that's the other thing about this. Perfect example for me, as far as like this moon being in Pisces. I was going to go do like a plant ceremony type deal at the shop that I work out of, and something told me today to look it up, like the actual plant that we're doing, because I've heard about it. It's just cacao. Turns out it actually interacts pretty poorly with the medication that I take, and I only take one medication, and turns out it interacts pretty poorly with it. And I was even looking up what a ceremonial dose of the cacao was and how it interacts with my medication. Definitely not recommended. So it's like, damn, like, and even with something like that, it's that is Pisces energy. That is Moon on Pisces. That is Mercury square Jupiter. That is like I'm wanting to connect and stuff like that and share this experience with people, but I can't because of the precautions here and the restrictions that are coming via the moon on top of Saturn. There's a restrictive element here too. So, I think there's a weird thing where we kind of want to break out and be a little bit more free this weekend, and I think we can, but at the same time, prepare to have like your plans shift, prepare to have things change up on you, and we have to learn how to be okay with it and go with the flow. Admittedly, when I was looking up all that stuff about the medication that I take and the cacao and how I can't really participate in it, not only that, but I spent money on this, and then now I feel like I'm not going to get the full experience of this. That's also Mercury square Jupiter, where I feel like I'm kind of losing out on money and I'm not getting the full value for it with the Jupiter in Taurus, and Taurus is about money and value, and now I have to kind of innovate the way that I look at the situation with the Mercury and Aquarius and see the value of simply being present there and connecting with those people. And maybe I can do a very, very small dose, or I can just participate in the breath work and stuff. So I have to go about this in a different way and look at it from a different lens. It's going to be weird too, because most of the other people that are going to be doing the cacao, I'm not going to be, and they're going to be on one vibration and I'm going to be on another vibration, but I have to somehow match their vibration even if I'm not doing the same exact thing. And that's a very Aquarian lesson, right? That is a very Aquarian lesson. And I'm just using myself as an example, but yeah, that's kind of how this weekend's going to go. And, I could overly identify with the Chiron North Node Aries thing and get pissed off. I'm like, damn it, man, this medication I take, it doesn't interact with a lot, but it interacts with some things, and it has provided some restrictions in my life. It has provided some barriers in my life of things I can do, things I can't do, things I have to limit myself on, and that could definitely cause some frustration. And of course, like I said, the Chiron thing, I can overly identify and be like, man, what if I just never took this? The anxiety that I experienced, the panic disorder, like I wish I didn't have it and blah blah blah. But at the same time, I wouldn't be who I am right now if I didn't have those experiences and if I didn't go through that. I wouldn't be who I am right now if I didn't start taking that medication to help me get through that initial like level, that initial hurdle and challenge of dealing with the anxiety and the panic disorder. If it wasn't for this medication, I wouldn't have been able to get through that initial facet of this experience to get to where I am right now. And I think that's super important. Shit, my phone just did a beep as soon as I said that. So it lets me know that I'm onto something here. So that's the thing. If you have plans this weekend to kind of explore and be free and connect and stuff, but then maybe some restrictions come up, but you still have the opportunity to connect, I would still say to go and do that thing. And the lesson I think here with the whole Chiron North Node thing is that we still have to accept kind of like where we are and stuff like that, to kind of be like, what, these things happened. It's okay. I don't have to overly identify with this. This does not determine who I am. I can still participate. I can still, innovate. I can still have fun. I can still connect. I can still do these things, even if I don't do it to the extent that the other people may be around me or so. That doesn't mean that I can't be involved. And I think that's really what this comes down to, is that we want to be involved. You want to feel like we are a part of something. We want to feel the friendship. We want to feel the sense of camaraderie. And that's where a lot of energies are moving to. I mean, we still have, of course, the sun and Aquarius here. It's at 22 degrees today. And 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 is Aquarius. So it's at a very Aquarian degree. So we're talking about there could be potential for like greater insights, cosmic understanding, realizing that we all are the I am. I had that epiphany yesterday with the new moon. I was watching, and of course, I'm watching the Peace Dealer, and of course, he has my friend on Master Nuda, who is a master freaking Aquarius over here. And of course, it's during the new moon Aquarius that they do their peace talk, and I'm watching it, and there was something that the Peace Dealer said in it, of course, bouncing off the energy with Master Nuda, that just sparked a simple understanding within me that made so much sense. And I thought about it before, but never in this way. And it just clicked. And I almost felt nervous that I had this information. I almost felt nervous that I had this information because it's like, am I allowed to know this? And that's kind of the weird thing. But essentially, was that like, when we refer to ourselves, we refer to ourselves as I, and we all refer to ourselves as I. We may have different names that differentiate ourselves. We may have different, ways of being. We may have different upbringings. We may have all these different things about us, cultural backgrounds, all that sort of stuff. But we all refer to ourselves, even outside of our names, we all refer to ourselves as I. So what is the I? We all are the I. We all are the I am. And that was the epiphany that I had yesterday that made me realize just how connected we all are. Because when you strip away all of the different things that define us and determine who we all refer to ourselves as I. And we all are the I am. And that's what I believe a lot of these ancient philosophers and ancient spiritual teachers were trying to teach us, is that we all are a part of the I. We all are a part of the I am, because we all refer to ourselves as I. And when we speak I, that has a certain vibration. It creates a certain vibration here. And if everyone's referring to themselves as I, what is I? I is all of us, right? So that is super important to remember, right? Let's get into the cards. Because like I said, I mean, that's pretty much the main things as far as today. The moon, yeah, it's going to sextile over to Uranus today, on Sunday, I mean. And, it'll also, Venus, it'll sextile over to Venus as well, too. I believe it gets pretty close to Neptune, but not quite. That's going to be more of a Monday aspect as far as that goes. And it does sextile over to Venus pretty much right before midnight. So, but I'm not gonna drill too much more into that. I feel like I did get my message across as far as that goes. Let's go ahead and hop into the cards. So, alrighty, let's see what we got. Well, I have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, if we feel like we're being robbed this weekend, we need to look in the mirror to see how maybe we are robbing ourselves of an experience, and realize that there's no one that's really taking from us this weekend, that we may be taking from ourselves and robbing ourselves of a deeper understanding of what's going on here. Just like how earlier my energy was kind of like I said, it was don't. What are you doing on the table, Leo? Whatever. Anyways, he's not supposed to be on the freaking table over there. Yeah, that table. He's not supposed to be on that table. It's the one thing that we don't really let him get on. And now he's just staring over here. Leo, you know you're not supposed to be over there. But like I said earlier, I was kind of I was in a daze. I was like, damn it, I feel like I can't really go fully into this experience like everyone else is going to be. And now I'm wondering, like, should I even go? But I spent money on this thing, and now it's like I was about to rob myself of an experience that potentially could be amazing. Could change my life potentially, but at the very least, it allows me to connect with other people. It's probably better for me to go out and to be with people and connect with people than to just sit here in my home and not really do much of anything. Because the only other thing I was going to do today was maybe clean up around here and play some video games. I have time to do that. I can do that other times. I don't always have a time to go out and do plant medicine ceremonies with other people. So that is what I'm going to go do. And I almost robbed myself of that situation. So maybe you may have a serious experience, a similar experience this weekend where you maybe rob yourself of understanding a certain situation and why things might have shifted, why things might have changed, and you have to learn how to adapt to these situations. I have the Eight of Swords. I think that's the thing here. It's like maybe we want to move forward, but we're kind of keeping ourselves blind to the possibilities of what can come out of a weekend like this. So don't hold yourself back. Kind of open up your eyes to see what really is possible, and that any preconceived notions that we have, that those things can change, those things can alter, and we have to be able to look at things from a note like a innovative Aquarius like lens and not get so fixated on it looking a certain way and being a certain way. I have that followed by, well, look at this. We got this card yesterday. We got the Ace of Wands. So that's beautiful. So it is the start of a Chinese New Year. It is the year of the wood dragon, right? So, you have that fire in your belly. You have the fire in your soul to really create and manifest some beautiful things in your life right now. And yeah, it may not necessarily look exactly the way that you thought it was going to look, but it's still something, and it's still probably exactly what you needed, and it's exactly where God needed you to be at this current moment. So I think that's really what this comes down to. Don't rob yourself of the opportunity to connect with people, to do something awesome this weekend, to participate in an experience that may be something that you just don't necessarily do every day. And don't get trapped in your own worries or fears of how it may go and stuff. Just kind of go along with the flow, see how it is, trust your intuition, trust your gut, but enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? The Ace of Wands here is saying ultimately to enjoy yourself. I have the card of Gray, which is interesting. It says, learn to scan your body. This is one of the more interesting cards in this color deck, but it's saying learn to scan your body. So different emotions could be coming from different places in the body. So if you have maybe like little twinges in certain parts of the body, maybe like little twinges in your head, or maybe muscle twitches or something like that, I'm guessing it's saying to essentially kind of pay attention to that. I'm going to draw one more card just in case. I have the card of Burgundy. So awaken your passion, right? This is not really a weekend to just be sitting around and not really doing too much. This is a weekend to awaken your passion, to live life, to feel life, and don't hold yourself back this weekend. Don't hold yourself back this weekend. It's not a weekend to hold yourself back. This is a weekend to, really feel that new moon, to really feel that new Chinese New Year. And I know we have the Super Bowl tomorrow, which I am a little worried about because I don't know what they're going to do for this Super Bowl. I don't know. It might just go on without a hitch, but I hope it goes well. I don't want to cast any doubts on what could happen during the Super Bowl. I just kind of worry about it, to be fair. But enjoy yourself this weekend, ultimately, and let's get to that Monday. Let's get to the rest of this February, which is going to just get more intense from here on out. That is going to do it for your weekend astrology forecast. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Forgive me if my energy seemed a little bit off. Like I said, my energy was just kind of thrown off earlier. But I still want to make these videos. I still want to deliver these messages because I want to make sure that you guys are better prepared to navigate these celestial energies. And I want to connect with you guys. So hopefully, as we continue to grow here, I can connect with you guys more in person too. If some of you guys happen to live in the Atlanta area, or if I start to travel around and stuff, I would love to do that as well. But yeah, because I do like in-store events stuff like that too. So if you ever happen to be in the Atlanta area and you want to come chill with your boy at the healing environment, that would be freaking dope. You know what I'm saying? So I have some cool plans. I have some people I want to reach out to, be like, hey, if you ever need like a spot to do something, I got a spot for you. So anyways, y'all take care. Stay blessed. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all on the next astrology forecast. Peace out.